Hey, welcome to ChatGPT Pro Prompts. I'm Sam, JT, I'm the founder, and I wanted to give you a quick look at ChatGPT, how to maximize the usage of the Pro Prompts, and a couple more goodies because I want to make sure that you know exactly how to access ChatGPT, what does it look like, and all the other things. So if you already know that, you probably don't need to watch the video. But if you're not too sure, if you want to get the most out of the product, just stick with me for a couple of minutes. It will be well worth it. All right. So before we get into it, this is me, Sam Jit, I'm the founder. I've sold over 100 million online. I've written multiple books. Used to be an actuary in pension investment. And basically, what I want to share with you is, first of all, like the most basic stuff, how to access ChatGPT, because I've talked with a lot of people that have downloaded it, and like the real way, official way to access ChatGPT, they're basically just go online, type ChatGPT, and it's here, like OpenAI. You go right here, and then you just try ChatGPT. And if you see at the bottom, it's really small, but the link is chat.openai.com. So basically going directly to chat.openai.com, it's going to open a link right here. And what it's going to do is, as you see, there's a bunch of stuff. And what I recommend is to get the ChatGPT Plus version. All right, so this is $20 a month. It goes all goes to ChatGPT, to OpenAI. And basically go here, it would be in my plan, and you would upload that. I would highly recommend that you use that because you get faster response speeds, you get access to ChatGPT 4 here, which is better. But this is what ChatGPT is. All right. So what you can do is basically you type your message right here. So you'd say this is where you would use one of the prompts. So like with Notion, let's say, hey, I want to create, let's say, a workshop plan. You would come here, you would see this prompt here. There's a button copy. You just click on it. You go here, you paste it. So basically you can right click, paste, or just Control V or Command V, whatever, depending on what you're doing. Here you say, what is my audience? Well, my audience is business owners. The topic is building sales funnel with AI, and then the outcome of the presentation is teach business owners how to use ChatGPT and AI to build a high converting sales funnel. And then here the workshop will be half a day, so we'll just put like 0.5, or you can say there'll be 4 hours. And then everything else is okay. You can just press send, and it's going to start generating your workshop right here. It's going to generate like this. This prompt is already built, so it's going to figure out the title. It's going to create the workshop agenda, and then the prompt like is already built to give you a mix of presentation activities, visual aids, discussion, etc. And then it's going to give you exactly, oh, this is the introduction. This is how long it should. So this is basically what this is. It is as straightforward as we try to make it as easy as possible. This is really streamlined. You just copy and paste, and that's it. There's a couple of things that can happen when you're doing this. All right, depending. So ChatGPT has a limit of characters to generate the output. So if it stops while it's generating, sometimes like you'll stop mid-sentence. I don't think that's going to be the case here, but because it'll stop mid-sentence. All you need to do is just, you would write continue. All right, so we'll see if it happens here. So terrific. Like you see it, it may, I will assume that it stopped, but then you would just write continue. And then if it ended, like, so this was end, then it's going to just basically keep giving you value about what you asked. So now it's going to give me how to prepare for the workshop and other things like that. So yeah, this is really cool. All right, so that's how you do it. If you want to edit a prompt, let's say you you're like, oh yeah, I forgot to include the outcome, or I want to edit it, you can just come here. There's a little button right here. You click on it, and then you see the save and submit. So you can go back and edit. I want it for window washing businesses, and then you can just click save and submit, and then it's going to change skyrocket your window washing business using blah blah blah. And last thing is you can go back here. You can go back and check your results. It's like, oh, this is the first result, and then you can see change to business owner. Click here, window washing business, and this is it. So that's a little bit how you can play with ChatGPT. At the top right here, you see the model that you've used. I personally like to use GPT-4 for pretty much everything. There is a limit of 25 basically usage per 3 hours. For the most part, you should almost never reach it. If you do, then it's fine to use GPT 3.5. And then lastly, if you want to use, like now, what I recommend is setting a different thread, this is our chat, for different subjects. So if you're creating content for your business, for content for your window washing business, then you would have a specific thread or chat. You would create your content always in the same chat, because ChatGPT, if you click in, you'll go back here. So it's not written because I'm in the pro plan, but normally it says ChatGPT here has memory. So it remembers the thread or the chat that you're in, right? So you don't want to start over every single time. You want to be able to basically go back to the same thread, let's say sales funnels. And then if I need anything about the sales funnel workshop, I need, hey, like I'll say, for example, like, oh, I need an email written for this. I would go back to my Notion, my pro prompts. Like I can just do Control F to search, and I'll type email, and I'll go and see, okay, I want an email sequence. So this is like a prompt for the email sequence. I go back here, and I'll say like, I'm going to remove that. Insert audience. Like in this case, since it already knows what the audience and the goal is, I can leave it like that, and it should still work. Let me just do it and see what it does. So that like it's going. So it, yeah, all right. Perfect. So it didn't work in a way because sometimes what happens, this is happening a little bit more right now. It says the previous model is unavailable. So it sort of switched away from GPT-4 to GPT 3.5. And as you can see, it went really, really fast. But since it switched now, it sort of lost, like it created a random audience and a goal, whatever. But then it doesn't matter for the sake of the example. But that's how you would be able to just like work your way through building your workshop, building a product, building, etc. And I had one last thing I wanted to talk about. Let me see real quick. All right, it came back to me. So there's a couple of things that I recommend. So here, if you click on the little button here, it's to edit what's written here. So if you want that to be better organized, and say like, you can, if you have multiple businesses, if you're doing freelance work, whatever, you can say like, you can say business, and then what this is. You can have whatever name that you want, and then workshop, whatever. Like and then you can click the button here. If you want to remove these, you click the little trash can, and then you'll see it's here, and then you can remove it. But then when you do it, it's still here, but it's not, like it's a different one, basically. All right. And then the last thing is, whenever you're using prompts, the pro prompts serve as a couple of things, right? So if we take one, let me take one of the newer ones. Let's say like build your entire website. So these all serve as foundation to help you, right? So there's a couple of ways you can use them. You can use them as a foundation where you can literally copy paste it and then just change, let's say in this case, these two things, and then you'll get your information. Or you can use this foundation of a prompt and modify it based on your specific need. Because sometimes you're like, well, like I want my website to do a specific thing. So you can read through the prompt and say, no, I want more text on the page. I want only one font. And then you would say choose, instead of 3 to font, say choose one font that is accessible. All right, so you can modify the prompts and play around with them a little bit, and like modify it a little bit. Like that's completely fine. I would recommend in the beginning just copy paste and tweak it a little bit and change the placeholders. And as you start learning a little bit more about ChatGPT, playing around, then you'll want to expand. Like, because here you can say your goal is to create a landing, like a website for a company. You could, if you wanted to try it with another thing, like your goal is to create whatever, like not landing, website. You can say a landing page. Even if there is a landing page prompt, you can play around and say, I want a landing page for blah blah blah, and sort of the landing page builds trust, and then you would remove what is not, like what's not needed. Like you probably don't need basically a bunch of pages since it's a landing page, etc. So you can play around, change it as you will. Ultimately, you can, because you can come back here and then this prompt is unchanged. And so that is how you would use ChatGPT. Make sure you're using the official website, which is chat.openai.com. I would highly recommend to get the plus version, and that's basically how to use it. All right, I hope that's been helpful. If you have any questions, there's a link in the Notion, basically here. If you go on the main page, go at the bottom and join this Facebook group. This is where myself and my co-founder Frederick are in. If you have questions, we'll be happy to help you with these. So just make sure you join this group. And yeah, that's it. I hope that's been helpful to help you just get a better understanding of how to use ChatGPT and maximize the result of the prompt. All right, see you.